What's up? Don P. Not to be confused with Dom P, the champagne. Here to do another movie review for you. It's been a second since I've done a movie review because I've been waiting for this movie to come out. This movie is Xmen Apocalypse. And I finally got the chance to see it. And I'm just going to go over what I thought about the movie. So if you've seen my reviews before, I do have five basic things, five basic elements that I judge a movie by. I'll go through those real quick, especially for an action movie. Number five, soundtrack, the musical score, how it went along with the scenes. For the acting, obviously this is very important. You need actors that can portray feeling and can make you believe what they're going through. Three is dialogue. Also very important. Good acting with bad dialogue doesn't make for really good acting. You know, it's hard for actors to have bad dialogue to do a good performance, obviously. Two is story. You always want to be, you don't want everything to be obvious. You want to be taken on a trip. You want to be engaged in the movie the entire time, and I believe a good story does that. And then for me, it's obviously you need all those things to make a great movie, but especially in an action movie, very important to me is the cinematography. Bringing action to screen is the hardest thing to do, in my opinion. It's definitely been hard for the X-Men movies that I've seen. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so soundtrack of the movie. I thought it was really good. I liked it a lot. I thought that it really helped build or helped amplify the scenes that were going on. I would give it a 4.5 out of 5 as far as the soundtrack went. I found no problems with it. No problems with the soundtrack at all. So if you're going to go to the movie and you're going to watch it, I think the scenes that are intense are helped out by the soundtrack a lot, and it definitely brings the intensity level up to a good level. Acting. I actually thought the acting was a 5, an easy 5. It was really good acting, and that's one thing the X-Men movies are awesome at, and that's the acting. They have great actors. I mean, Magneto kills it. Xavier kills it. I liked actually all the different characters in this movie. I actually liked. I thought Oscar Isaacs did a great acting job. I thought he did a great job acting. Their version of Apocalypse, he definitely got my attention. He definitely was able to, I was hanging on every word, and I was really, I liked how it was just a good job in acting. You know when you're listening, when you have good actors and they're delivering their lines, and you're just, you're feeling them, you're totally, completely feeling exactly what they're going through. You have to love that, and X-Men does that for me. And so I gave the acting a definite 5. The dialogue. The dialogue was really good in some parts, and then not so good in other parts. For instance, I as great as an actor Oscar Isaacs was, I felt the dialogue between Apocalypse and some of the other mutants was just a little corny. Just a little corny. Just a little bit. I'm not gonna get into it. Like I said, I'm not spoiling anything here. I'm just telling you like what I thought of each thing. The dialogue to me, it was great in places, but then like I said, it was just a little corny in places for me. So as far as the dialogue goes, I would give the dialogue probably about a 3.5. Yeah, I'd give the dialogue about 3.5. The story, I did like the story a lot. I know a lot of people were kind of upset that it was like going all over the place. It was, I didn't really get that feeling. I pretty much, it was pretty easy for me to follow. You know, I didn't think that there was really anything that like made the story jumbled at all. You know, I thought that, you know, everything was clear. I knew Apocalypse's objective. Basically, he had two objectives, but they were both pretty clear in what he was trying to accomplish, what he was trying to do. Yeah, I mean, the story actually, you know, the story was big for me. I liked it a lot actually, and I would give the story actually a 4.5 as well. I'd give that a 4.5 as far as the story goes. So now, last but not least, cinematography, most important to me. This is where we still just can't get it right. This is why I'm very saddened actually by what I saw, and why I've always been sad that, you know, Fox has the rights to this and not Marvel. If Marvel would have had the rights to this, it would have been a lot better. But this is a two-part cinematography. One is just the overall cinematography of just all of how the fighting scenes take place, right? The fighting scenes were just... I'm going to compare this to Civil War, because Civil War has the best cinematography I've seen ever. But it's just like any fight scene that was done in X-Men, it just was like a quick highlight, not like a fight scene. And it was a quick highlight that was just green screen to the max. You know, and I love green screen. I don't mind green screen at all, but Civil War had a way of you feeling like everybody's fighting on one screen, right? Whereas, and you see guys going in and out, you know, it's just one big screen filming a huge fight, which is awesome, which is what I want to see, and it looks real. Everything looks real. It doesn't look like it's fighting on a green screen. You look like you're actually, like, you know, in Civil War when I don't want to give away anything that happened in Civil War either, but the fight scenes in Civil War just seemed like it was just a continuous battle. Xmen Apocalypse, it's like every fight scene happens in its own little box, you know, and one box is different from another box, and each box is green screened in the back, and each scene lasts for about 10 seconds. So it's just a bunch of like 10-second boxes, 15-second boxes, and it's just, it doesn't give you that sense of like one awesome battle. There's no, it's just like a bunch of 10-second like mini battles that all happen, and they're not good. You know, there's nothing. They're not good. You know, that's all I can tell you. The fight scenes aren't good at all, and there's really not enough action throughout the movie at all. As far as fight scenes go, there's a lot of manipulation of matter going on. A lot of power wielding going on. But as far as fight scenes go, there's not much, and they look cheesy. They still look cheesy. You know, they're not good. I don't want to, harp too much on them because it's negative, but that's just it. Like this did not touch Civil War. And then I want to go a step further and just the way. Well, okay, I did not like the way Apocalypse looked at the end of the day. You can't make him that size. The size they made him, he's basically shorter than he was. He's standing next to Magneto, and he's shorter, the same height as Magneto. I mean, come on, that's not right. That's not what. That's another, and that's what Fox always messes up. Is they can't take the comic book character and bring him to screen and give him accurate power levels whatsoever. Or accurate powers. In this case, I believe they actually showed Apocalypse's power levels accurately. But they didn't show the powers that he had were nothing like the powers that he has in the comic. There's a little bit going on there, but in general, they left out like 90% of Apocalypse's powers. They didn't even use them. And it was really upsetting to me as an Apocalypse fan, as a fan of this character. They really, it's not good. The look, Apocalypse's look, it wasn't good. It wasn't awful. And like I said, Oscar Isaacs had a great performance. He's a great actor, and he did a great job acting. Unfortunately, they made him act as a whole other character, not Apocalypse. That's not Apocalypse at all. That was somebody else. Like, that was a different character. And I don't know what character that they had in mind for him to be, but that I did not get that. I did not feel like he was acting like Apocalypse at all. So, not representing Apocalypse correctly was very bad to me. It was very sad. They had a great opportunity to take advantage of a very visually pleasing villain, and they dropped the ball big time. Big time dropped the ball. And then, like I said, the fight scenes that they had, they looked fake and they were corny. Unlike Civil War, those were not corny. Those did not look fake. And they were very great. There was just some awesome, fight scenes, battle scenes. This one didn't have any good fight scenes. It was just, like I said, clips, like a little highlight reel of moves, and then bye-bye on to the next one. It left a lot to be desired. So, all in all, as far as me ranking this movie, let's see where it comes out to. The soundtrack I gave a 4.5. The acting, I gave the acting a 5. The dialogue, I gave the dialogue a 3.5. I gave the story a 4.5. The story was good. And I gave cinematography, I didn't give it a score yet, but I mean, I'm gonna have to say a 2. I can't get it's like, I want to give it like a 2.5, but I gotta give it a 2 because I'm just like they don't have any good, like there's not a single good fight scene really. It's done. There's one. I'll give it a 2.5 because I mean, as bad as the last fight scene is, it's still better than a 2. So we'll give it a 2.5. Really? Let me just do this one again. 4.5. 4.5 for soundtrack. 5 for acting. 3.5 for dialogue. 4.5 for a story. And cinematography, I'm giving it a 2. I'm sorry. 19.5 divided by 5. You know, somehow I get this movie is getting a 3.9 based off of all my scores, but I really would want to give it like a 3. Is what I feel like giving it. 3.5 max. So, you know, like I said, it's coming out to a 3.9 based on all the scores I gave. It feels more like a 3. I could go as high as maybe a 3.3, 3.4 off of feel. But it's just, like I said, Marvel needs to come quickly and take X-Men away from Fox, because they are doing a disservice to the movie, to the X-Men and all the characters in it. It's just wrong. It's wrong, and they need to give it back somehow, some way. I know it's all about money, it's all about the mighty dollar, but really, this is it. I know when Marvel finally gets a hold of it and they finally portray Apocalypse, it's going to be one of the most beautiful portrayals of anything ever. And I'm glad that Fox botched it up as bad as they did again, because it'll just hopefully speed up the process here. But anyway, again, I hate bringing on negative energy in any way. I don't like being negative about any film. They put a lot of money into this film. It's definitely worth watching. It was entertaining. I was entertained from beginning to end. It's just, in hindsight, you know, what it could have been. You know, I left the movie feeling underwhelmed, but during the movie, I was 100% into it the entire time. So, it's one of those movies that you'll love all the way, and then after it ends, you may walk out like, dang, it could have been a lot better. You know, one of those things. But it was definitely better than Fantastic Four. You know, definitely better than Fantastic Four. And I think I liked it as much as First Class or Days of Future Past. It was right in there. Like I said, Oscar Isaacs did a great job, and even though I didn't like the Apocalypse, or, you know, I was hoping for a much better, different Apocalypse, Oscar Isaacs still played a very interesting character, you know, who is nothing like Apocalypse to me, but still at the end of the day, a very interesting character, and did a good job playing that interesting character. And that character, the character that he played, definitely got my attention and had me interested. So I will give him that. But that's all I got. Don P. I'll be putting up more as I see him, as I see these movies. So yeah, just like, subscribe, please, if you like it. And I'm gonna keep putting them out. All right, have a great day, y'all. Bye bye.